Guys, this is SJ Football 16 and today I will be revealing my predictions for Week 16 of the Barclays Premier League season 2015 to 16. I'm going to start with the early game kick-off between Stoke and Manchester City, two teams in the top half of the table. I think the score in this is going to be a goalless draw, to be honest with you. Man City, we saw a couple of weeks ago they didn't play that well against Liverpool, and I don't think they're going to improve much more at the moment. And also, the big teams, you can't expect them to win every single game this season, as we see quite a lot. And this could indeed be one of them. Stoke have had a good record this season, although they didn't do so well against Sunderland last week. The rest of their games they played pretty much quite well in, and they've made a big comeback this season. So I think the score's going to be 0-0. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Arsenal and Sunderland. The teams are not very similar in terms of ability, so I'm going to say it's going to be 3-1 to Arsenal. Although they haven't played well over the last 2 weeks, I think they could come back here. Despite Sanchez being out, I still think they're going to win. And also Sunderland, they don't have that good of a squad, so it should be even easier for Arsenal through that. I think the scorers are going to be Olivier Giroud, and I think Aaron Ramsey is going to score too, as I reckon he'll make a massive comeback from the injury he's suffered. And also, I reckon Sebastian Larsson, the proven scorer for Sunderland, is going to score. Next, I'm going to head over to the game between Manchester United and West Ham United. You might be shocked at this, however, I'm going to say it's going to be 2-0 to West Ham, actually. This is because against the big teams, West Ham have played well throughout all of them. You saw them do it against Manchester City, you saw them do it against Arsenal, you saw them do it against Liverpool. I can't see why it cannot happen against Manchester United. I think the scorers are going to be the super sub Nikica Jalovic, and I think Mark Noble is going to score the other one, the good midfielder. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Southampton and Aston Villa. I think the score in this is going to be 2-1 to Southampton. Although Aston Villa have not played well at all this season, I don't think they're going to they're going to lose by a massive margin. And also Southampton, they didn't play that well against Man City, so they're not going to win by a massive scoreline. I can't see that happening, but they will still get the win, as they are a proven top 10 side, and I think they'll definitely be able to beat Aston Villa. So I think the scorers are going to be Jay Rodriguez, the super striker, with 2. And I think Rudy Gestede will score for Aston Villa. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Swansea City and Leicester. Although Leicester have played really well this season, and Swansea are in the bottom half, not playing well at all, and fighting for survival, I think the score in this is going to be 0-0 actually. This is because Swansea, they'll end up picking their form. They know they need to play well for Gary Monk, and they know that if they lose, they could be facing further problems with him getting the sack, and also it could backfire onto their relegation. However, I don't think that the loss is going to happen today. Also, Jamie Vardy, although he's played well in every single game, scoring in pretty much every single game, I don't think he will score in this one, as we can see with all of them. Harry Kane was similar last season. He didn't score in every game, as we could see, and I think Vardy's quite a similar player to Harry Kane, in fact. And I think it's going to be 0-0. I don't think Leicester are going to make the top 4, really. So that is why I also think it's going to be a draw today. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Watford and Norwich City. Although both sides are fighting for survival in the Premier League, I think the score in this is going to be 2-0 to Norwich. This is because the games they've played really well in. We saw last season they drew with Arsenal, which is a brilliant result for them. And Watford, against higher up opposition, they haven't played very well, and Norwich have succeeded more than that, in fact. And I do think that it will definitely be a victory for Norwich, with Cameron Jerome scoring both the goals, the proven goal scorer as we've seen throughout this season. Now I'm going to head over to the game between West Bromwich Albion and Tottenham. I think the score on this is going to be 1-1. This is because I think West Bromwich Albion, they've played quite well recently, actually, drawing with West Ham and, in fact, the top four opponents, Arsenal. I think the scoring is going to be 1-1 because Tottenham haven't exactly played the best this season, but they haven't played really badly. I still think they'll get a draw, but because of the results West Brom have picked up, I think they could build up the momentum to get a draw against Tottenham in the next game. So I think the scorers are going to be Claudio Jacob for West Bromwich Albion and Harry Kane for Tottenham Hotspur. Now I'm going to head over to the late kickoff between Chelsea and Bournemouth, the relegation battle. I think the score in this is going to be 3-0 to Chelsea. Even though they're low down in the table, I think they're going to pick up their form because they know they need to play well if they want to be in the top four next season, and they have to play for every single point. I think the scorers are going to be Cesc Fabregas with 2 for Chelsea, and Eden Hazard will get the other one. And Bournemouth, they've picked up their form a bit recently, but I don't think they'll be able to beat Chelsea. Although they have played well against teams like Swansea and Everton, but Chelsea, they're a step up from Swansea. In fact, their squad is a lot better, and their squad is a lot better than Bournemouth's as well. And I think they'll be pushing towards a top 10 finish this season, Chelsea. Now I'm going to head over to the Sunday kickoff between Newcastle United and Liverpool. Although Newcastle United have played absolutely awful this season, I don't think they'll play as bad against Liverpool. Liverpool, they've played really well with Jurgen Klopp, however, I don't think that it'll last forever, their winning run. They might get a bit carried away, Liverpool. They might go into this game thinking it's going to be easy, but then we see this with a lot of teams. They go into games thinking it's going to be easy, but then they don't get the final result. So I think it's going to be 1-1, and the score is going to be Tovan for Newcastle United, and I think Martin Skrtel is going to score for Liverpool. And to finish this episode off, I'm going to end with a Monday kickoff between Everton and Crystal Palace. I think the score in this is going to be actually 2-1 to Crystal Palace. Palace have played really well this season. In every game they've picked up really good points. Recently they haven't played as well as they would expect, but they still played well throughout the rest of their games, and I can't see why they cannot beat Everton away. I think the scorers are going to be Seamus Coleman for Everton, and I think James McArthur and Jordan Much are going to score for Crystal Palace. That's all from me for today. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and don't forget to comment on any changes that you would make to this video. So I'll see you guys next time.